The Dallas Cowboys are entering another offseason full of decisions that could reshape the team for years to come. Fans are already buzzing about which players might be on the move, and the front office has some difficult choices ahead. After the surprise release of Trayvon Diggs before the season even ended, it became clear that Dallas is not afraid to make bold moves, and the list of potential cuts this year promises more of the same. As the team evaluates performance, contracts, and cap space, each roster decision carries weight, influencing both the immediate season and the long-term strategy of the franchise. One of the names that keeps surfacing in discussions is Logan Wilson, the linebacker who was acquired mid-season in hopes of adding depth and leadership to the defense. His season with the Cowboys has been a mixed bag, with flashes of solid play tempered by moments that fell short of expectations. At a cap hit of $6,550,000, none of it guaranteed, Wilson represents a relatively low-risk move from a financial standpoint, yet the team must weigh whether his performance justifies keeping him on the roster. He was often sidelined behind Kenneth Murray, which limited his impact, and while he had some notable games, including a solid outing against the Giants, the overall picture suggests the Cowboys may be ready to explore other options. The thought of revisiting his potential fit under a new defensive coordinator lingers, but as it stands, a cut seems likely, paving the way for fresh talent to emerge in his spot. Then there's Terrence Steele, whose situation is considerably more complex. The offensive tackle struggled with consistency throughout the season, partly due to injuries that clearly affected his play. With an enormous cap hit of $18,130,000, the financial implications of keeping him are staggering. Cutting Steele before June 1st would save $8,750,000, but waiting until after June 1st increases savings to $14 million, funds that could be redirected toward building the roster in other critical areas. The challenge lies in the limited options available in free agency or the draft for a replacement tackle, leaving the Cowboys in a position where they must carefully calculate whether the immediate financial relief outweighs the potential disruption to the offensive line. His performance against top pass rushers remained inconsistent, with moments of excellence offset by repeated lapses, which makes his future in Dallas uncertain. Malik Hooker, the safety, also comes under scrutiny as the Cowboys evaluate their defensive backfield. Hooker carries a significant cap hit of $9 million. With savings of $7 million should he be released. Coming off an injury, the risk associated with his contract is high, and the impact plays that justify such a salary were often missing during the season. The safety group is thin, and with upcoming restricted free agents like W. Thomas and the possible departure of Donovan Wilson, the team faces tough decisions regarding depth and performance. By reallocating Hooker's salary, Dallas could pursue a more reliable option at safety, enhancing the secondary while freeing up resources for other critical positions. On the offensive side, wide receiver John Mingo has struggled to meet expectations since being acquired. With a cap hit of $1,960,000 and no remaining guarantees, his performance has not matched the investment. Limited production and a negligible trade value make him a strong candidate for a release, allowing younger receivers and other acquisitions to compete for meaningful snaps. Dallas could shift focus to developing depth behind key starters while minimizing unnecessary financial commitments to players who have not delivered. The receiver room has potential, but efficiency and output remain the priority as the Cowboys navigate roster adjustments. Defensive tackle Kenny Clark presents a different type of scenario, where performance is not the primary concern, but financial strategy is key. Clark's cap hit of $21,500,000 is substantial, and the team must consider whether a restructured deal or extension could reduce the immediate financial burden while maintaining his presence on the defensive line. Clark's experience and contribution to the interior defensive front are undeniable, but managing cap space will be crucial as the Cowboys aim to balance star power with overall roster flexibility. Potentially restructuring or extending contracts of core players like Clark and Quinnen could provide long-term stability, but each decision requires precise financial planning to avoid compromising the team's ability to address other pressing needs. Special teams also come under the microscope with Brian Anger, whose high punting salary places him among the top-paid players at his position in the league. While effective, his average output does not necessarily justify the expenditure when compared to potential savings that could be used elsewhere. The Cowboys may explore alternatives or allow younger players to compete for the punting role, emphasizing efficiency and strategic resource allocation over maintaining high salaries for positions where marginal differences in performance can be found at a lower cost. These decisions reflect a broader trend of careful financial management, where evaluating cost versus impact is as critical as on-field performance. As the Cowboys approach the offseason, each move is interconnected with others. Decisions on one player affect cap space, draft strategy, and positional depth, creating a ripple effect that influences every aspect of team building. Balancing veteran presence with developing talent, managing the salary cap, and addressing immediate performance gaps requires a nuanced approach, one that considers both short-term gains and long-term sustainability. The list of potential roster changes from linebackers to offensive tackles, safeties, wide receivers, defensive tackles, and even special teams highlights the complexity of maintaining a competitive team in today's NFL. Through all of this, one thing is clear. The Cowboys are not afraid to make tough decisions, whether that means cutting high-profile players, restructuring contracts, or exploring trade possibilities. Each move sends a message about the team's priorities and sets the stage for a new chapter. For fans, the offseason is a time of speculation, debate, and anticipation, as the front office shapes the roster to compete at the highest level while navigating the constraints of the salary cap. In every position group, from the offensive line to the defensive backfield, players must prove their worth, and the decisions made over the coming months will determine the foundation for the next season and beyond. Looking deeper into the Cowboys roster, attention naturally shifts to the defensive front and how the team plans to address weaknesses while maximizing cap efficiency. The defensive line has a mix of veterans and young players, each carrying different implications for the team's salary structure and performance potential. While Kenny Clark remains a cornerstone of the interior, the depth behind him is being closely evaluated. Players like Quinnen Williams and others must show that they can maintain pressure on opposing quarterbacks and contribute to run defense at a high level, because the Cowboys cannot afford to carry inefficient contracts in positions that demand constant physical output. Decisions here will ripple across the draft strategy, as the team must decide whether to invest in veteran reinforcements, high-upside rookies, or a combination of both to keep the front line competitive. Another key focus area is linebacker depth, which has been highlighted as a potential weakness throughout the season. Logan Wilson's uncertain future leaves questions about who will step into key rotational roles and whether internal candidates can rise to the occasion. Kenneth Murray showed flashes of high-level play, but consistency is still a concern, and the Cowboys need to ensure that their linebackers can contribute both in coverage and in run defense without exposing vulnerabilities. Offseason training, positional meetings, and perhaps free agent acquisitions will play a critical role in determining whether the Cowboys can stabilize this unit and improve overall defensive efficiency. The linebackers are not only a measure of individual talent, but also reflect the defensive scheme's adaptability and ability to respond to elite offenses week after week. Safety is another pressing area that requires careful consideration. With Malik Hooker likely on the move, the Cowboys are left with a thin group of options, including potential rookies, restricted free agents, and lower-profile veterans. Donovan Wilson's probable departure and W. Thomas's uncertain situation further complicate the secondary, forcing the team to prioritize versatility and impact when evaluating replacements. The goal is to create a secondary that can not only defend against the pass, but also contribute to turnovers and big plays, areas that have been inconsistent in past seasons. Every dollar saved by releasing or restructuring contracts in the safety group can be reinvested strategically, potentially allowing the Cowboys to acquire a player who offers both reliability and game-changing potential. Wide receiver remains an area of both opportunity and challenge. John Mingo's limited production demonstrates the risk of acquiring young players on minimal investment, and the Cowboys must now focus on cultivating talent in-house while identifying potential veteran contributors. Players like Cavante Turpin, Tayan Holden, and Fennoy could step into expanded roles, but they will need to prove that they can perform consistently against top defensive backs. Depth in the receiver room is essential, particularly for sustaining offensive rhythm when facing injuries or tough matchups. Draft capital and free agency resources may be allocated here, ensuring that the team maintains explosive options for Dak Prescott while fostering a culture of competition that rewards performance and adaptability. The offensive line also demands attention beyond Terrence Steele. The team must evaluate potential moves at both tackle and guard positions to protect the quarterback and open lanes for the running game. Injuries, inconsistent play, and contract constraints all factor into the calculus, and Dallas may explore restructuring deals or seeking free agent solutions to stabilize the line. The balance between investing in high-cost veterans versus grooming younger talent is delicate, as the Cowboys need to maintain immediate competitiveness while also building a sustainable foundation for future seasons. The line's performance is integral to every aspect of the offense, from pass protection to the timing and effectiveness of the running game, meaning that off-season decisions here have long-reaching consequences. Special team strategy will also undergo review. Brian Anger's premium contract as a punter places him among the highest paid at his position. Yet the Cowboys must assess whether the investment truly correlates with strategic value. The team may consider cost-saving measures, such as giving a younger player a chance to compete or focusing on improving return coverage and field position management through other means. Effective special teams play can influence field position and momentum, and allocating resources wisely in this area ensures that the Cowboys remain competitive in all three phases of the game. Every dollar and roster spot carries an opportunity cost, emphasizing the importance of evaluating each player's overall impact relative to their contract. Looking ahead, the Cowboys front office faces a complex web of decisions as they navigate the draft, free agency, and potential trades. Each move influences not just the immediate roster, but the long-term salary cap structure and positional balance. Draft picks must be considered not only for talent, but also for how they fit schematically, complement existing players, and provide cost-effective solutions. Veteran acquisitions may fill immediate gaps, but the challenge is always to balance experience with financial responsibility. This strategic approach ensures that the team is not only competitive in the upcoming season, but also positioned to sustain success over multiple years. Cap management emerges as a critical theme throughout the offseason. Large contracts, potential restructures, and cut candidates must be weighed against available resources to maintain flexibility. With high-profile players carrying significant cap hits, the Cowboys must carefully prioritize where to allocate funds, whether towards strengthening the offensive line, shoring up the secondary, or enhancing pass-rushing capabilities. Each decision impacts not only current player retention, but also the ability to pursue strategic acquisitions that align with the team's long-term vision. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL world, sources are reporting that the Dallas Cowboys have reportedly secured agreements with not one, but two superstar players. The news, confirmed by ESPN insiders, has ignited a firestorm of speculation about what this could mean for the future of the franchise. While details remain tightly under wraps, the mere hint of such acquisitions has already sent fans and analysts scrambling to imagine the possibilities. The Cowboys, long a team with championship aspirations, have been aggressively reshaping their roster in recent seasons, and this rumored double signing would represent the boldest maneuver yet. Industry insiders suggest that the two stars in question are among the most coveted free agents in the league, and their addition could dramatically alter the team's dynamics on both sides of the ball. Speculation is rife about positions and roles, with some suggesting a game-changing addition to the offense, while others hint at a defensive powerhouse arriving in Dallas. Analysts are quick to note that landing two high-profile players simultaneously is rarely straightforward. Salary cap considerations, contract negotiations, and team chemistry all come into play, making this rumored double acquisition the subject of intense scrutiny. Social media has already exploded with fan reactions, ranging from unbridled excitement to cautious optimism, as the Cowboys faithful weigh the potential impact. Mock drafts and fantasy projections are being rewritten in real time, as experts attempt to gauge how these signings could influence the team's strategy and prospects in upcoming seasons. The Cowboys front office has remained unusually tight-lipped, offering only cryptic statements about their commitment to building a championship-caliber team. That ambiguity has only fueled the rumor mill, leading to endless debate among commentators and fans alike. If these signings do materialize, they would not only reshape the Cowboys roster, but also send a message to the entire league. Dallas is serious about returning to elite status. With such high stakes, every press conference and insider tip is being dissected for clues, as the football world waits with bated breath to see how the team's bold moves will unfold. One thing is clear. The Cowboys may be on the cusp of a transformative era, and whether this rumor proves true or not, it has already captured the imagination of fans nationwide. The potential arrival of two megastars in a single offseason would not just be a headline. It could redefine the landscape of the NFL itself. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.